Hello and welcome to Topson. My name is William Lebowski. Today we're in Automobilista 2 and trying something a little bit different than we normally would, and that would be the Formula Trainer at a track called Santa Cruz del Sol, I believe. Speaking of new things, if you want to go ahead and check out a TikTok from a funny making of this race where some cars collided, go ahead and check out the description below for that link. But anyway, doing something a little bit new than we would have normally ever done. This car you might think is pretty much exactly a Formula V, which is exactly what I thought, but it is not exactly that. And there might be some similar characteristics, but these cars are not identical and they don't handle the same way. They're at least different than what I'm familiar with from iRacing. But as you can tell, as we're at the back of the field here, you can see that there are no rear wings, there are no front wings on these cars, and that really does change the dynamic in terms of their cornering ability. Their, of course, general aerodynamic capabilities and what you can really extract out of these cars in terms of being on the limit in the corners. And it really translates the rest of the skills necessary to mechanical grip and driver skill. And as far as momentum goes, this is hugely important because you can't just make up time on the brakes or in the corners for whatever mistakes you make. If you make a mistake or have to get back out of the throttle, it will cost you. As you can see right here, I get passed at a very slow speed by another oncoming car. But that's what I got for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. And let's see how this race shakes up. Sorry about the no face cam. Accidentally clicked the wrong button in the recording. All right, we are one lap in, and I don't know why, but this race has turned into my Vietnam. I could not get through it without having some sort of tiny mistake that turns into some giant ball of flame, ruining the entire race, or just a bunch of little small things like messing up a braking point too early, too far, and ending up in the grass, flying around, getting stuck into another car. But they have really thrown everything they can at us. And so the goal is not even to do anything crazy, not to have some sort of amazing pass every car in one lap type of race. We are just fighting to survive here. This car is a lot more feisty than it would appear. You would, I think, assume by it being such a low-powered car, you have such low expectations in terms of its wild uncontrollability. But this car will really give you a refresher on the basics of driving, and when I'm putting a lot more focus because it really makes you realize where is the limit versus where are you using things like aerodynamics in assists, whether it be TC or ABS in GT3 cars, to allow you to do things that you should not be able to do. And as you can see, my right rear tire is already starting. That's cool. It's getting cool now, so it wasn't too big of a deal. But the limit of what these cars will allow you to do and hold on to is the difference between those between that and flying off the handle is just so small, and it really rewards those who brake at the appropriate times and places, and those who get their inputs correct versus those who do not. Any mistake is magnified, and your good deeds are not necessarily, well, they will be rewarded, but not necessarily as much as your negative aspects will be punished. So we've moved up to 8th position. We're on lap number 3. We do have to be very careful about those rising tire temps because, like I was alluding to earlier, the difference between a warm tire here and just a tire that is a piece of butter in a warm skillet is those things are so close together again, and so it's very easy to not even spend a whole lap pushing, but to make a couple of to go through a couple sections, maybe a sector of track, really pushing, and all of a sudden you've got rears so warm that the next corner you're going to go through, they're just going to fly out from underneath you. So it's important to remember that and approach your car with that in mind, because that has spelled disaster for me several times. Trying to use as much of that curb as we can. That car on my rear end really wants it, but as long as I could hold him to the apex right there, I knew that I would lose him. I could just fly into that corner a little bit quicker than they can. Maybe I'll be punished for it by the end of the race. This has been a pretty reliable zone for me to make a pass in, as it goes from the fastest or second fastest area on track into the slowest corner. That 12 car ahead of me is pretty cool, very classic livery. Speaking of paying attention to the cars ahead, we've already made mention of the tiny tires that are easy to warm up, that don't offer much in the way of mechanical grip. If you'll notice, there are no rear wings on these cars, so you don't have that advantage. But then if you look even closer, you'll notice that these cars don't have any front wings of any sort either. So it really, there is no hiding behind anything with these cars. You really have to nail everything, which is why it is a beginner car, because you know, you got to master those skills as a beginner. But you know, with sim racing, it's not like the real world racing. You don't have to start at the bottom. You can start in your favorite car. And I think a lot of people, including myself, skip you know, these beginner type of experiences because they're slower, they're not as exciting, they're a little bit dull. And just when you compare it to something like, you know, Formula One or a 24-hour race at Spa in an LMP1 car. And because of that, I feel like what is for the real racer an experience, this would be, you know, a boring experience for them because it's something they've done a myriad of times. For the sim racer like myself, this is a brand new experience, which is different than other types of racing we're used to. You know, as someone like myself who just jumped into, you know, the F1 and GT3s of sim racing, it's not often my negative. So I have a lot of concentration on driving here. It's not all the time that my negative or wrong missteps on track get punished so severely. So it's somewhat rewarding, even though it can be very frustrating. Let's see, finally got a decent exit to that corner as we start to gain on the car in front of us. Lap number 6. Let's see if we can make a pass here. All right, on the outside, we just have to hold. There it is. We can hold it up into the top 5. Cut the chicane there a little bit, as much as you can. That grouping ahead of me is looking like they're going to start fighting. Oh, he did not close the door like he should have after getting past on the inside. We move up into 4th position. All right, we're looking at the podium right in front of us. Ooh, got that corner wrong. Our rear ends are staying in decent check and temperature. Although I would like them a little bit cooler, because as we approach the end of the race, that's where I'm going to start making those moves, and that's where I want to start using up my tires, not right now. So let's do what we can to keep in touch with this podium group, but let's not try to burn up the tires just yet. All right, we're all ready to go, this group of 4 of us. All right, there it is, staying off the rear on that final exit. So that means we're not going to be making the final move on the penultimate corner, because judging by history, they will get a better exit than me. I just have not been nailing that final corner, so we will need to do it right before then, as we are looking at 2 laps to go, coming to the white flag this lap. The podium has been reshuffled in front of us. It's time to get closer to this group. Let's take 3rd right here. Oh, shuts the door right as I arrive. Makes us lose all of our momentum going into this fast straightaway. But we can make a move coming into this very slow corner, I think. Oh, he's going to hold it. Oh, we got a car on the grass. but it does not seem to cost them much momentum. Side by side for the lead. Third place is looking to cash in on that, move up. All right, we got to get closer. They're starting to fight. We can seize an opportunity here. Where can we make a move? Right here. Nope. Over a crossover. Oh, a little bit of contact. But we take the position as we come to the white flag. All right, here we go. We're on the final lap looking at a podium position. We need to get a little bit closer to this group if we want to hope for anything better than what we've got. Time to start using those tires as we really put on the gas early coming out of that corner. But it seems to have been worth it because we are getting right up to the rear end of these two. Still going not side by side, still in a straight line, which means they're going the fastest they can, not wasting time going side by side. We're going to make a move here for second place. I hold on to it. That was probably the best I was going to be able to make that move. Coming on this exit of this right-hand corner is an opportunity for us. Let's get a crossover. They cover it. We weren't really there. All right, we're coming into the final corner, our worst corner. Not quite. Man, those AI were really pushing on that final lap. Man, that was intense. I think that was pretty much as far as I was going to be able to push this car. Oh, and of course we're crashing. Crashing after the race. But anyway, that's my time. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. And, I got to calm down from that one.